Hi, I'm Trevor Kobylarz, driver of the RT Racing number 14 sprint car. I've always been involved in racing since I was a baby. My dad, Brian Kobylarz, was involved in racing, and I grew up going to the track every weekend, driving around the country with the ARDC Midget Tour, and fell in love with it from day one. Growing up going to the races, watching my dad, eventually getting able to work on the cars myself as I got older and was trusted with more. It was always a lot of fun. It was a learning experience, getting to grow up, seeing how the car is handled, watching him, see what he would do, driving-wise with other guys. It definitely helped shape me into the driver that I am today. Traveling with family was always a big part of it. ARDC went all up and down the East Coast. We've gone out to the Chili Bowl numerous times, went down to Florida, raced in the Carolinas, into New England. I'm an only child, so it was my dad, my mom, myself going on a lot of trips with our other crew guys and stuff, of course. But it was always something that's all we did. We didn't go camping or we went to the races. And so it's just how I've grown up, what I've always known. And it was always a lot of fun. I was a good kid in school, so I got to miss some classes every now and then to be able to do those trips. So that's definitely, I wouldn't change how my childhood was, if that's how you want to put it. It was definitely fun and enjoyable, and I'm still doing it today, so I'd say it was definitely a good experience. I got started racing, obviously, with going to the track with my dad and stuff, and then when I was 5 years old, the Buckwalter family, which is a big name in racing, the grandmom always made sure all the kids got their opportunity. So I got to, my first test run was in the cul-de-sac, and didn't go too well. I ended up having a trip to the hospital to get some stitches, and I think my parents thought they killed me. But obviously I'm still here, and it didn't scare me off from racing. So I was able to start at a young age, ran quarter midgets for for half a season or so, till mom decided I was a little too young to be doing that, and I took a few years off, and then I was about 8 or 9, got started running go-karts, and that's where I started to really catch on and was older and was able to do a little bit more driving and listen to the instructions I was being given. When I got back into running go-karts, like I said, when I was 8 or 9, it was with a group of other families in the neighborhood, which were the Herberts and the Favengers, and Tom Herbert, who was always a family friend, a close family friend, someone that we considered family, helped get me back into it and helped me throughout the rest of my racing career. Unfortunately, he passed a few years ago, but he's been with me, I think, ever since, still helping me along the way. But it was definitely, once I got into go-karts, I started running on pavement, and it was good, just wasn't really grasping it. And then we decided to go run dirt one night, and that's where the light bulb kind of clicked, and I was more racy, more competitive. And then the next season we went back and ran dirt the full year, and that's where we started winning races and decided that this was something that we definitely wanted to keep pursuing.
And where was that?
After I started running go-karts and I started to move up, I ran Slingshots, then I went to micros, started running midgets, and now obviously the sprint car. Each step, the biggest thing was the horsepower in each car kept going up and up, and the power that they had compared to the weight of them always made them more and more challenging to drive. They were bigger, faster, heavier, more competitive competition. So as I kept going up through the micro ranks and then into the midget, it was just grasping how much power you had, and started, running wingless. You had to be smooth on the throttle. You had to be a smooth driver. You can't make quite the same mistakes when you're driving with those type of guys, and just perfecting on how well you can hit your marks and how smooth you can be with the throttle. I've always been kind of called the king of seconds. I've had a lot of seconds in my career so far. And then the first win came at a track we were at the first time. It was Potomac Speedway in Maryland. It was only myself, my dad, and my mom with. My dad was running the backup midget, just to help the club out, help support everyone. And I went out for warm-ups. The car felt great. I did a nice big wheelie that probably didn't. My mom probably didn't really approve of it too much because it looked like I was showboating or something. But the car was really good. I went out, won my heat race. The car was still feeling great. Went out for the feature. Started 11th, and I think I had the lead by lap 2 or 3. And it was great, just mainly because my dad was out on the track with me. So we always joke that he was towards the back, but he would watch me go down the straightaway. Make sure I was still in the lead, and then he'd forget to turn for the turn on his end of it. So getting that first win, it was really, really great. I was able to get some good momentum going from that. It was definitely fun just having it was just me and my parents at the race. So it was definitely great to have him out there on the track with me. It was kind of like that was the handing off of the baton from his racing career to where mine really got started. Running a wingless 410 sprint car is pretty wild. The amount of horsepower you have versus the weight of the car and what traction is available, it's definitely can be a handful. Compared to the midget, you're dealing with more than twice the horsepower and only 300 or 400 more pounds of weight, besides the size of the cars and everything. So trying to get used to that was obviously a big jump. A lot of people think that they handle probably pretty similar, and I've run both of them the same night, and they're complete opposites of one another on how you drive them. Just learning with the sprint cars, you had to be a lot even better with your throttle control in comparison, and definitely probably the best way to describe it is you just grab the steering wheel and hit the gas and hold on. I always feel like you race to the level of your competition, and definitely running with USAC, you're running with the best guys in the country, and guys like Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Casey Kane, Ryan Newman, all those guys that made it to NASCAR, IndyCar, came through the USAC ranks. Racing guys like Kyle Larson or Christopher Bell, Rico Abreu. I got to race more with those guys over the last few years in midgets and stuff, and definitely running with the best guys in the country just makes your program has to be on top of it. You can't be a little off on your motor or a little off on your car or your driving or your setting up of the car. It's definitely, you have to be on top of your game, and I try running with those guys every opportunity I can because running with them is only going to make you better. This year I'm looking forward to running the full week. Mother Nature and then engine troubles have kind of halted us the last 2 years. Last year hurting the motor on the first night. Ended our week pretty quickly, and then we've had some rainouts the years prior and stuff when the Eastern Storms come in. I think if this year doesn't go well, we might have to change the name from the Eastern Storm to something different. But no, it's definitely looking forward to run each race. We've had some decent finishes. It's all about qualifying with USAC. To get a good starting spot in the feature. So I was looking forward to getting out there on next Tuesday and going out for time trials and putting down a good lap. That way, we get our week started on the right track and just keep going from there. Making this week successful is really just going to be getting to finish all the races, rolling the car and the trailer in one piece. I definitely think we're capable of running in the top 10. We have a lot of experience in the midget and stuff at all these tracks. And plus, we've run here in the sprint cars quite a few times now. So I definitely think we can be in the top 10 on a pretty regular basis. We'll find out here how competitive we'll really be here shortly. A couple weeks ago, we picked up our first sprint car win running with the Boss Series. We got to run with them a couple times this year, which is something we haven't been able to do going into the Eastern Storm prior. So we have more seat time going into this year compared to the other ones where, the guys that run USAC full time, they've already got 15, 20 races under their belt this year, where we're on, race 3 or 4. So that's definitely going to help us get a quicker start going into the week. Heading into this week, I'm really looking forward to running all the tracks. I really like all of them, especially I think Grandview. That's considered probably our home track, even though now we only get to run there once a year when sprint cars come into town. We have a lot of our sponsors and stuff get to come out. A lot of our friends and family that don't get to go to races since we travel all over the place. So running that's definitely going to be a fun night. I really enjoy running Lincoln. I think the Grove's going to be great with the sprint car. It's a track that's nationally known. A lot of people know it, and I think it'll be cool to run a sprint car there. And then the rest of the week, even with the Silver Crown cars at the Grove with the Midget, that was a great show last year. Really enjoyed that one. And then ending the week at Port Royal and Susquehanna. I like both of those tracks. I've won both of those in a Midget, and I get around those tracks pretty well. Looking forward to all of them, really. Probably the biggest inspiration or the biggest motivator, coach, whatever, crew chief, every car owner, whatever you'd like to call him, would be my dad. He's been there each step of the way and has helped me grow throughout every division that I run as I've grown up. Told me what I did well, what I did wrong, especially what I did wrong. Over and over again, he would tell me about those mistakes that I would do. And then he's always been there for me, and he was the best man in my wedding. So it just kind of tells you the type of relationship that we have together. And he's always been there in all those. A guy of many hats for me. I definitely wouldn't be anywhere where I am with him. Winning an Eastern Storm race would definitely be by far the highest mark of my racing career. Running with USAC, they're definitely the best guys in the country. I think that if we could do that and put our name on that list with so many of the other, if you look at that list, there's a lot of great drivers on it. It's a long list. And if I could do that, that would definitely be hard to top throughout the rest of my career, and definitely be really high up there. I think what a lot of people don't know is how much time and effort goes into running a week like this. We've had a lot of nights out in the shop for the last couple weeks trying to get the car ready, do as much maintenance as we can to it, because it's a busy week. It puts a lot of wear and tear on your equipment and your team just in general. Once you're into that first night of racing and you get through it, and even if you're not wrecking, it just the amount of maintenance just on it's a late night, so you're tired and you got to get up early in the morning, start washing stuff, and then you have maintenance stuff like doing the engine, making sure that everything's good there, adjusting fuel settings, you're changing tires, filling fuel jugs, just cleaning out the trailer, getting your suit clean. There's just the list goes on of what you have to do on a just night-to-night basis, and then it's pretty much you put the body panels back on the car, put the wheels on it, drop it off the stands, and roll it in the trailer, and you're right off to the next night. There's not a lot of time for relaxing, and you do that, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and it just, you get into a routine as the week goes on. But you definitely it can definitely be daunting doing a week like this, running this many races consecutively, especially when you have, we're running on Thursday night with 2 cars. Well, now, you're doing twice the amount of maintenance. Definitely the 2 biggest supporters in my racing career are the Becker brothers, which is Kerry and Dyke Becker, who own Cafe Waldorf and Becker Painting. And then we've had a lot of other people that have been with us for a long time also, and that includes teams like Promax Fence Systems, Pioneer Pole Buildings, Chuck's Auto Salvage, Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage, and there's a lot of other people too that are just smaller supporters that are part of our team, whether it's they donate their time or money to our team. And we always are looking for more people to help our team. You know, I'd like to be able to run some more USAC shows, be able to do a lot more of that, maybe just go run in Indiana, do some local shows with them. I enjoy running the sprint car, and I want to keep doing it for a while and doing a lot more of it.